Something that really burns my chicken is when people hype up games that aren't actually out yet, and something that really burns my chicken is when people hype up games that aren't out yet from a publisher or a developer that hasn't actually proven that they deserve your praise or your goodwill, and yet here you are praising their game before you even see a single second of actual uncut gameplay of it. Also, hello, yes, I know it took a while to make the first video of the year. I got sick. Because that's my luck. I get sick right at the end of the year and have to just do a bunch of compilation videos, and then I get better, and then I get sick again while the compilation videos are scheduled to come out, so I can't even make more videos. But now here I am, rock you like a hurricane. I'm here to make videos in 2026, and guess what? I'm bringing my A game, and my B game, and my C game, and my D game, and my E game, and my F game, and my... Did you think I was going to keep going? Did I get you? But I'm playing a little catch up here, and this is a video I've wanted to make for like 2 weeks because I'm still surprised that it happened. So a while back, I would say it was the other day, but it wasn't the other day now because I suck eggs and it took forever to make this video. But Jay Plays Games tweeted out, as I said, PlayStation produces peak, with pictures of 4 games that are not out yet. And 2 of the 4 we have no raw gameplay of. 3 of the 4 there's no like public trial of it. Saros has a gameplay demonstration, but it's from the devs, which could tell you fucking anything these days. The only game of these 4 that you could have possibly played by now is the Marvel game down in the bottom left, and ironically the only game here that people have actually played is not getting the best reception right now. So not only are you calling games that aren't out yet peak, but you're also taking a collection of games where literally 100% of the game of the public gameplay access we've had has been mediocre at best. And this is all being done because it's PlayStation. PlayStation's producing the game. PlayStation produces peak. Oh yes, all of that peak that PlayStation has been producing over the PS5 generation. Do I have to go down the list of games that they canceled? Do I have to go down the list of games that they just haven't released? Do I have to go down the list of games that they have released but were disappointing? PlayStation's first-party track record may have been good in previous generations. This generation, you cannot tell me with a straight face that it's a really good showing right now. And if you continue to call this not good showing peak, it's going to continue to be a not good showing. I don't know why I have to explain this, but apparently I do. Because guess what happened after I saw this tweet? I quote tweeted Jay, and I said, literally none of these games are out. And oopsie doodles, that one went a little viral. And guess what happens when I go viral for saying something that everyone should be on the same page about? I have a special power. I did a thing that made you mad. So yeah, it happened again. I tweeted out something that was completely obvious that should have been totally non-controversial, and a bunch of fanboys yelled at me for it anyways. So we're going to go through some of my favorite responses that I got for simply pointing out the fact that you shouldn't be getting excited for games with no gameplay, with games that aren't even out, calling games peak that they're not even finished yet, all because of a logo on the box, especially when that logo on the box has been seemingly going out of its way to not give you what you want. Because, I mean, at this point, why would they go out of their way to give you what you want? You're gonna suck them off either way, and they know that. And it's so funny to me that the PlayStation base are the same people who actively encourage Xbox to die, who actively encourage Sony to have a monopoly over the console space, and they'll completely shit on any kind of competition that comes along. But then also, when Sony gets complacent, when Sony jacks up the prices of stuff that you shouldn't have to pay for, and Sony jacks up the price of things for no reason at all, when they don't give you a good first-party game output, when they don't experiment or give you any kind of variety in their games, and instead just give you the same cinematic third-person action game over and over and over again with minor tweaks from franchise to franchise, you're either just convincing yourself that this is peak video gaming, even though it's just not, or you're just refusing to acknowledge the fact that they're taking advantage of you, because obviously they are. But let's go ahead and look at some of my favorite responses that I got. Because, how dare I point out the fact that we probably shouldn't be praising games that literally aren't out yet? How dare I acknowledge the fact that that's not a great thing to be doing? I got a response from Tripster who says, so what? They will be out in just a few short weeks.
Are you sure about that?
Ah yes, Wolverine and Intergalactic and Saros, those will be out in a few weeks. I don't even know when the Marvel game comes out, but I mean, it's been about 2 weeks since I made that tweet, and it's not here yet. But also, Tripster, you know this isn't a counter to what I said, right? Like, even if you were correct, and all of these games came out in just a few short weeks, you're still not, like, countering the point that I'm making. I say, hey, you shouldn't call these peak because they're not out yet. And your response to that is, oh yeah, well, they're coming out soon. So, Tripster, you agree that they're not out yet. How did you think this was a rebuttal? You're literally agreeing with me. Coochie-chan says, and do you need to? You already know the companies. That's enough. I love that argument. Implying that Sony has never let you down. Implying that Sony's reputation is just fucking stellar across the board. Do I have to bring up all the cancellations again? Do I have to bring up all the franchises that are completely dormant? Do I have to bring up all the franchises that are not dormant but are now just like an amorphous blob with all the other ones instead of having some actual fucking personality and charm to them like they used to? Do I have to bring up games like Spider-Man 2, which, you know, whether or not you think Spider-Man 2 was a disappointment is besides the fact that Spider-Man 2 launched in a completely unacceptable state. So, like, even when Sony gets games out the door, there's not even a guarantee anymore that it fucking works properly because that's how low the standards of your base have gotten. Like, I don't understand where this delusional idea is coming from that Sony's name is enough to get excited for the game. Sony's name is enough to make you confident that the game will be good. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I could see that argument. But in the PS5 gen, especially the last 2 to 3 years of it, like, do you actually play these games? Do you actually, like, have any kind of critical thinking at all? Do you play anything other than PlayStation branded shit? Because it really doesn't seem like it. Vagabond says, literally the point went over your head. PlayStation already has exclusives that people cry aren't on their console until released to PC, so stop acting obtuse, little guy. First of all, what exclusives does PlayStation have anymore? Like really, what does PlayStation have anymore that other consoles don't? That's number one. Number two, a lot of the exclusives that people cried about, you know, people crying about these exclusives until they go to PC. Yeah, you know, because all the good exclusives come to PC. You know, the PC ports that Sony is funding are the ones that people want. You know, I really wanted the Until Dawn remake on PC. I super wanted the Horizon Zero Dawn fucking remaster on PC. I totally wanted Sackboy on PC. I totally wanted Uncharted 4 and nothing else on PC. And in case my point is now flying over your head, lil guy, my point is that Sony is not exclusively funding games that people want. You can't be saying that these games are peak simply because of the PlayStation logo, because I just gave you a list of recent PlayStation PC ports and non-PC, just new PlayStation releases that nobody fucking cared about. And none of this excuses the fact that we are now looking for excuses to praise games before they're out. Let that sink in. You are looking for excuses so you can praise a game you haven't played. You are looking for reasons to praise something you have not played. Is that really where we're at right now? Is that really what you think gives you the high ground? I'm over here saying you can't call things peak until they're out and you've played them, and you are like scrambling, looking for reasons why you should be able to do that. But I'm the little guy and the point's flying over my head? Buddy, what are you doing in this hobby? Like, genuinely, what are you doing here? How do you call yourself a gamer when you're openly encouraging people to not play games? This one's fun. Sith Lord Roxas says, show me 4 games that Xbox has made in the last 10 years that even come close. Hell, show me 4 Nintendo games that are better. Then Rev says, cope and seethe, Xbox is dead. David says, Xbox fanboys are so desperate. A Max Mayfield says, what does Xbox have coming out? I had a running joke on this channel a while ago, and the running joke went away because this argument started becoming less common. But I guess it's coming back now. And the joke, paraphrasing, is that PlayStation fanboys seem to be fucking incapable of defending PlayStation with without bringing up Xbox. Like, if you criticize PlayStation in any way, and like even in this tweet that I made that everyone's responding to, I wasn't even criticizing PlayStation. I was criticizing the idea of praising games before they're out. Like, that's not a thing exclusive to the PlayStation base. They're just the ones that are yelling about it right now. I have several videos making fun of Rockstar fanboys doing this exact same thing. But you know what Rockstar fanboys don't do? They don't redirect the conversation to a different company. Because when you redirect the conversation to a different company, it means you have no fucking argument. You just saw something that you interpreted as criticism of PlayStation, and instead of offering any kind of rebuttal or any kind of actual defense of PlayStation, you're bringing up Xbox as if anyone was fucking talking about that. Pro tip, they weren't. And frankly, you're just proving my point even more. Person A says, hey, these games are peak even though they're not out because they have the right logo on the box. And I'm like, hey, you shouldn't do that because that's a stupid thing to do when the game's not out. You haven't played it yet. Don't call it peak. You haven't played it yet. And your response is, oh yeah? What about this other company with a different logo on other games boxes? What about those then, sir? I don't fucking care about those. I'm not an Xbox player, and even if I was an Xbox player, that's completely irrelevant to what we were talking about. You're coming to the defense of someone for saying something in defense of a company, presumably because you are also a fan of that company. And instead of offering any kind of reason for why that company is good, for why the fan base feels this way, you're completely redirecting the conversation to a different company. And not only that, you're assuming that I give a shit about that company. I don't. You're just that incapable of defending your own points. What are we doing here? Doofy says, so having no roadmap 12-ish months ago equals no games, and now that there is a clear defined map of games, well shit, they aren't out yet, are they? LMAO retards fuck. Okay, if you still take roadmaps seriously in the current year, you're a fucking moron. If you still take big budget AAA gaming roadmaps with anything more than the tiniest grain of salt, I don't want to hear your opinion. Roadmaps have no fucking weight anymore. They haven't in years. They change all the time. They get canceled all the time. Roadmaps are just a bunch of teasers for things that are in development with rough windows in some cases, and in other cases, completely wrong windows, and the developers know they're wrong windows. They just don't want you to talk about the fact there's nothing here yet. But also, again, this doesn't rebuke my point. I say there's no gameplay and the games aren't out yet. And you're saying, oh yeah, well they will be out. So you agree they're not out yet. You agree they're not out yet. What is going on? Is there really that little to play on PlayStation that we're putting time into arguing as to why we should be able to praise stuff that's not fucking out yet? How dry is that platform? Escapism and Choice Advocates says, too bad the Xbox and piss-y masturbators don't get to play an unreleased game and closed beta entirely for free, Lamau. Yeah, this is in regards to the Marvel PlayStation beta. So like, again, the one game of the 4 in the original post that you can actually play is the Marvel fighting game. And it's funny that you bring that up because there's some irony to the fact that the one game of the 4 with actual player attainable gameplay right now, that game's not being received very well for its gameplay. You're kind of proving my point. Diego Duran says, and they are already peak. Sir, we stay winning. Games are already peak because of CG trailers and hype videos and painfully scripted gameplay. If it looks pretty enough and it's got the right logo on the box, we literally don't give a shit. Don't fuck with PlayStation fans. We don't even know what a video game is. That generic Eric says, don't worry. In a few weeks, you'll resort to port begging for these bangers. You clowns are predictable. I would love to see a single instance of me port begging for something other than Bloodborne. And I mean, if you follow my channel, you know that my quote port begging for Bloodborne isn't even out of lack of access. Like, Bloodborne is on PC. My port begging for Bloodborne is just out of like confusion. It's not even out of like, oh, I can't play the game, because I can play Bloodborne on PC. It's out of confusion of like, why the fuck have you done nothing with this game? It makes no sense. But yeah, I would love literally one instance of me port begging for a PlayStation game. Thank you for contributing to the conversation. I really got a lot out of that. That was, I'm a better changed man, better man, changed man for everything that just happened. My God, it's I mean, it's fun to be back. It is fun to be back, but fuck me. That's if this is where we're starting, if this is how the year intends to go on, then my goodness, we're in for a good one. Yeah, don't be hyping up games that aren't out yet, that you haven't played, you haven't seen raw like player-made gameplay, non-developer, non-scripted gameplay of hyping games up for that is just, it's just so silly. I don't understand it. But anyways, welcome back to fucking Joe from Seattle, I guess. We're starting the year off strong, even though it took me 6 days to get a video out this year. But you know what? We're here, and that's okay. You're here, you're okay. I'm here, I'm okay. And I'm another year, another Joe from Seattle season of not knowing how to close my fucking videos. Okay, Doofus Club time. Chris Voy, West of Rex, Hentai, Gaming with Dead People, Minate, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, Delta 16.9, Elite, Zombie Killer 5072, The Gamer 127YT, Baron, Floppy Pingus 97, Day Imported Bridges, Unicorn Raku, Goji Fan 2005, The Return of the King, but he's upside down, Pill 310 Char, I came, Winky, I gooned, but I saw nothing, Kush, Dog, Nazy, Smile, Dirty Mike, and the boys. The other day, 7 dozen eggs, Max Killer V2 Gaming, I want to squeeze Harmon Smith's Temples, Grimsy, It's a Hard Nug Life, Nice Dude, One Man Savage, no Payoff, Official Dregs, Happy New Year's, you filthy goony goofers, ooh woo, Vector, Vanilla, Archie, Maker, no Resident, Sick Nick, Matt Fox, 94, Exchange Induction, Bear Brains, Tick Rider, Broken Crown, Power Off the Racking. I'm buying all the Steam controllers for myself. Devastator 2000, Jake, Spider Monkey 1994, hashtag Biggest Diggest, Schmuffin Schmattles, De Schmidt, Vast Dennis, Muskie, Big Fudge, Thrash, The Vibe, and Club of Penguin, Judge 6, Moltheme, Realizard, Oracle, Blast 1314, Jimmy, Chaps, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Tom Snorlax, and Unknown 8718. Got some new A50s, and now get audio orgasms daily. Great. Edge Shadow Bear 1789, Bender Fondue, T-Train, Reisner, Non Voila, High Partial Main 8, Vox Auto, for Codman 4372, WX Snake, Ice 337, MK29329333936E, X Fox to Gamma, Fire has 105, Tech, Jungle Zone. Jungle Zone is not there. He hasn't been there for a long time. Slim Jim, Lord Bowers II, Joe Laughs at Us in the Moat, Gay Local Nautism, PC Gamer, Jessica Shepard, Ricky Spider, Dixie Davy, Xylophone, Doofus Sports Academy, Crew in the Steel Angel. But thank you, but our Doofus is in another castle. Cyrus 6771, 2 Text 940. Oh, Joe, thanks for buying me that Steam Deck. You're so welcome. I totally did that. Creed Warrior 23, Max the Chive, Silly the Chive, Totally Insane, Black Cobra, Face the Wall, Xeno Lover, Knight of Cypher, ML04, Knight of Cypher, ML04, Wolf of Midnight, EKW, Steve Win Studios, Film Crack, and Own Gaming 2 Week, Brown Thorns, Game, Mag, and X, Severin, Evans, on the 3, Mr. Spawny 03. It's been so long since I did one of these. My mouth is falling off. It's a Catalina Frank and Y Mixer. Pow, Pow. Donnie Weston, Gob Gonson, Rogue Winter, 19, Zach Thane, Kenny Kitten, Tammy, Hammer for Ire, Elton Noble, Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Floppy, Mangaki. Oh my god, Floppy Pingus. Where is he? I have muscle memory for stuff from 2 weeks ago, and I don't know where it is now. Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Mega Key, Scrubbies, Go, Ghosto, Ryusagi, Raptor 10 on a 784, Blue Hook, Wankin, The Wind, Wankerly, Mr. Techno, Squeak, Jody Peters, Smiggy, Wiggum, Jensen, Advertisement, Diego Garcia, Kimmikins, American Idiot, Harmon Smith on the Chin, Ono, Sisterman, Rudui, Toonie Wakes, 3wolf7, Retro Wannabe, Hobo, Westa, JMMSG, Veg, Groovin, and Curtin Allen's, Mike Solid, I own 6 copies of Gara's Barnyard Bash 07 on DVD. Oh, shit. That's a new one. Fuck, that's a new one. I don't know how you always guarantee yourself a spot at the very bottom, but I love that that's always how this ends. Whew, okay. Goodness. All right. Coffee time. Okay, toodles.